I'd like to talk about bad superpowers.
Okay.
So now we can begin the bad superpowers section of the podcast. I started a Twitter based on a topic on a secret forum that nobody is allowed to know about. It's called @BadSuperpowers on Twitter. You just go twitter.com/badsuperpowers.
Okay.
And I've got about 60 or so. These are superpowers that are either useless or downright detrimental, but I try to always avoid things that are just flat curses, like, from now on, all of your shits are burning lava, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's the ability to turn your shits into burning lava.
Right.
Which is involuntary, but useless.
It's not just you have a terrible power. Actually, me and Rich were talking about a power like that a couple of weeks ago. I didn't think we would ever have any reason for me to bring this up in the podcast, but this is actually perfect for it. He keeps on wanting to call the superhero Aborto, which I think is wrong, because it's not really anything to do with abortion. Like, it's just, I mean, superheroes can be called things without being directly related to them. Like a guy, like, Batman didn't get his powers from actual bats, and it's not like he throws actual bats at people or anything like that. He just kind of has the theme of the bat. So I guess Aborto is fine in that sense, but it's kind of a stretch. I think he just really wanted to call someone Aborto. But the guy's superpower is he can, like, possess other people to do things with them or whatever. Like, he can take over their body, and he has, like, all of their knowledge and all of their skills and everything when he does so. But then, if he does that, he can never leave that person's body unless he kills them, because when he leaves their body, basically, their, like, internal organs turn into him, and then he just kind of, like, pours out of their asshole and kind of lands on the floor, looking sort of bigger than a newborn baby, and he very quickly grows into a full-grown human. But he's kind of, like, membraney for a couple of hours, and then he, like, slowly becomes more normal, and then his hair kind of grows back and stuff like that. But he kind of looks like a big man baby when he comes out. And then that person is just dead, because
I like that. I like that a lot. But that would not fit in 140 characters.
Does that fit into 140 characters? Can you describe that? Aborto. Come on. I can describe it in one word. Aborto.
It's not concise.
The terrible superpowered hero. So that was ours.
Yeah. I have a few. I wrote about half of these, and I'm going to read a few of my favorites. The ability to make everything you personally eat taste like burnt sperm. Which, you know... Ability... Yeah.
Where he really gets to shine is when he's in something where they're having, like, you know, a tense conversation over a fancy meal. You know, like, people are, you know, maybe in families that have married into each other and stuff like that, and some kind of drama, and, you know, they all hate each other. So then, now, you can't say anything bitingly witty to this guy, or the next spoonful of whatever you're eating is going to taste like burnt sperm. I win again.
You can only turn it into the things that you're personally eating.
Oh.
Not someone else's food.
That's terrible. That's not really a superpower.
Well, it's supernatural, and it's a power. It's an ability.
Sure. Unexplainable by science.
Yeah. Ability to put a small birthmark anywhere on your body. A new birthmark.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. I guess you can shape it however you like.
Save on tattoos, really. Never actually have to buy one or risk infection.
Poop blood on command.
Just... It's your blood, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Become extra visible.
Like, really apparent.
The total opposite end of invisibility. You're just really Really,
Are
yeah.
are the blind able to see you?
I don't know.
That would be kind of interesting if he became so visible that the blind could actually detect his presence. I mean, you could sort of use that to help some people.
I like that. But
You could guide around blind
now we're
people
sort of
without having to touch.
getting into the area of it's useful, and then it's not a bad superpower.
I think that's fine. I think if it ends up being sort of useful, but in a very non-super heroic manner like that, I think that's perfectly good.
All right. Well, there's a few that are a little like that. The ability to remove one of your own limbs at will. It doesn't grow back, and also you will need immediate medical attention.
Doesn't every person have that? I guess it's more convenient for him, because it just comes right off.
Yeah.
Whereas we would have to cut it or do something. That would be pretty
you remember that
drastic.
there was that movie about the guy whose arm was trapped under a boulder.
Yeah, it's called the James Franco story, starring James Franco.
Yeah, and if he had that, then he would have had a lot less to worry about.
Yeah, he could have solved that really quick.
Yeah.
I mean, there still would have been a while where he would have been like, I don't want to lose my leg, so maybe someone will come and find me. But like once he got hungry, like he just would have used his power.
Yeah. You can cry bees instead of tears.
Now see, do they come out like, saying someone cries bees, you say that to someone and if someone draws it, they're going to be like shooting bees out of their eyes. But really, like, those bees are just going to come out at the speed of a tear, which is really slow. And then they're a bee, so they're just going to do whatever they want. Like, they're just going to fly around. Maybe they'd sting you.
They might. I mean, they might just crawl out of your tear duct.
I don't think I would ever use that power.
I think I would use it if I were, like, going on, like, David Letterman, and, like, I was the guy who can cry bees, and, he introduces me as that, then I kind of have to do it.
No, I'd never do it. I'd be too scared.
Well, are you allergic to bees?
No, and I mean, typically when bees are around, I'm that one guy that doesn't, like, jump around and, like, go, oh, bee. Like, I just kind of stand there, and even if it lands on me, I don't, like, move that much or anything. But out of my eyes, I have a real phobia of things around my eyes.
I appreciate that. You can relive your greatest failure whenever you want.
Well, I think we have that. We can always listen to these podcasts.
That's good. Thank you.
Thanks for laughing so
Whenever
at that.
it wasn't. I mean, I wasn't actually
being a jerk.
entertained by that. You're actually the jerk for making that joke. Whenever I think about that ability, I always think of it in terms of like somebody's greatest failure just happens to coincide with the moment and scene of a crime. So he's always having to go back and relive the memory and
It's like source code.
Piece together bits of evidence.
Yeah, that could be interesting. You can make a decent movie out of that, I think.
Yeah.
I sort of have that bee power, not out of my eyes, but I have bee mancy, which is I can summon a single bee whenever I want to. I just have to go down to the John and McDonald pub with my friend Rich for brunch, and then I just have to order an orange juice, and then a single bee will always come every time. Happens every time I do it.
That's miraculous.
He always wants to drink my orange juice.
Immunity to alarm clocks.
The restful sleeper.
And I suppose that, I mean, you could expand that a bit, and if someone tries to kill you, like throw an alarm clock at your head, doesn't just bounce right off.
Yeah, you're proofed.
Yep. Why not?
I think I'm gonna have a guy that has an immunity to belts.
All right.
Like if you ever try to strap him down with a belt, or like tie up his wrists or his ankles or something with a belt, it just won't work. If you try to hit him with a belt, you always get kind of like a weird flick, and it doesn't really land with any And like you always like fuck it up, like 'cause it's like a whipping motion, right? So it just kind of like lands all like limply on him. If you're trying to murder him, then your belt will come off of your pants and your pants will fall down.
You can sprout a conjoined fetus twin from the center of your face, and then it must be removed surgically.
Can you control how small the connection is?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think that it. I think that merely doing it is going to cause a lot of damage.
Because removing it surgically, I mean, that could mean anything. That could mean it's really friggin' on there, or that could mean that you just gotta take a little scalpel and just go, and he's off. Like, that's surgery, but it's still just me going, and it's off, like a surgery that you could do yourself.
Anything you touch becomes a crazy racist.
I'm sure there's a joke there.
It's like a Midas touch.
Isn't that What's-His-Face's power? And then What's-His-Face is like a current guy that was in the news for saying something racist or something. Then everyone would laugh. That's the joke that Jay Leno would make about your power there.
Well, that joke sucks.
And then he'd
You
go...
didn't even have to come up with it, and I already know it's not funny.
I know. And then
I hate Jay Leno a little more.
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Have you seen this in the news?
Does anyone ever go, yeah?
Yeah, I did. And I made up a better joke, too.
Here's my favorite one that I've come up with. When you look at a person, and it triggers every time you look at a person, a new person that it hasn't happened to yet, you get a vision of their life story as a Shakespearean 3-act play. And it takes hours and hours to get through.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's fine. It can't be interrupted, and you go sort of catatonic and limp as it's going on.
Well, be useful for a playwright.
Is that plagiarism, though?
Well, you aren't coming up with the ideas, but you're not stealing them from anyone else.
Weird.
Your power is giving them to you. Like, your power has no ability to write plays, so you're kind of its avatar in the playwriting world.
Transform normal soda into diet soda.
Terrible power. I hate diet soda. Really, I hate all sodas now, though.
Make any letter be addressed to you.
That's pretty good.
Take a letter, and you change the mark.
You can do that for good or for evil.